Thank you. Hey, you're very kind. For a couple of years, I worked as Tiny Tim's piano player. And Tiny Tim was a bit of a misunderstood artist. If you got to know him in person, he actually, well, for one thing, his real voice was not the high falsetto. His real voice was actually almost a deep baritone, very reminiscent of early Bing Crosby, who was actually his hero when he was growing up. But what happened was he got to be about maybe close to 40, or maybe he was 40 already. It was the 50s, and he just wasn't getting anywhere trying to promote himself as just a regular singer. And by his own assessment, he felt that he needed some very strong attention getter to get him across. So he got very religious at one point. He prayed, and one day he woke up and he started singing, you know, and like, tiptoe through the window. And actually, when I worked with Tiny, he once heard me do that, and he said, I hope, Mr. Mann, you're not planning on being the next Rich Little. But actually, Tiny Tim was a very wise man, and he knew a lot about show business, and he was sort of like a big brother to me. And also, contrary to the image that he projected, he very much loved the ladies. In fact, he was into the ladies to the point that if we were riding by and a pretty girl walked by, he'd make the driver stop the car so he could look at her. But he was actually, they should make a movie about him, because in the 50s, he started coming up with all this gimmick with the high voice and the long hair and the makeup, and he used to go to shows on the subway dressed like that in the 50s, which to me is pretty courageous, although it was New York City, so I guess you could, if there's anywhere you could do that and just go unnoticed, it's there. But still, it took till the 60s for him to, I guess, for the times to change, and suddenly being very strange became very marketable. But while I was with Tiny, he recorded a couple songs of mine, and I'd like to do one of them for you now. And it goes like this. This world is so large, with so many souls. It's easy to think that none of us matter at all. But I don't believe that's true. God has work for each of us to do. And the things we do count, no matter how small. For you may touch a stranger with a kind word that you say, and inspire him to do the same for some other on another day. And even your mistakes can help others to find their way. Shine your love in everything you do and say. Shine your love in everything you do and say. Now it's easy to criticize those who don't believe like you. You see all those empty eyes just trying to buy their way through. Ah, but each soul has its own route, and they all can lead to truth. So if you find the light, remember to shine it bright for the one still stumbling through. For you may touch a stranger, may touch a stranger with a kind word that you say, and inspire him to keep on trying and go the rest of the way. And even our mistakes can help others to find their way. Shine your love in everything that you do and say. You're gonna feel better if you shine your love in everything you do and say. Today more than ever, remember to shine your love. Shine your love. It gets hard sometimes, but that's the time you gotta reach on out and shine your love. Shine your love in everything you do and say. Thank you. You're very kind. I really appreciate that.